In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw a graph on the Casio FX9860G. So, first of all, when you're in the main menu, click this button here that says Menu. And you've got some options here. Now, the one I'm going to use today is Graph. So I'm going to click down, using the cursor arrows here, I'm going to click down to Graph. When I press EXE is like your enter button. It stands for execute. Now, when you open that, you get a menu, a graph menu that says y1 equals, or y1 and a colon. That really means you can enter any equation that is y equals. So y1 represents the first equation that you're going to enter. If your equation is not in the form y equals, you'll need to change the subject. So you can see down here, I've got some graphs I want to enter. Let's just do the most basic graph first of all. I'm going to enter y equals x. So over on the keypad, this button here that I'm just circling right now, this button is for you to be able to enter a variable. You'll notice that the calculator has alphabetical letters in red above. Do not use these as variables. You must use this button here. So I'm just going to click on this button here, and you can see on the screen it says y1 equals x. Now to make sure the computer or the calculator knows, I need to press EXE, and you'll notice the equal sign is now in bold. That means that the calculator has acknowledged that's the equation I want to plot. Now, along the bottom of the display, you'll see some options. The one I want is draw. To activate this, I need to use these buttons along here. So each button here coincides with each of these here. So I'm going to press F6, and that draws my graph. And this is the graph of y equals x. Now, if I want to get back to draw another graph on the same screen, I'm going to click Exit here. And when I click Exit, you'll see that it's now ready to type in another graph for y2. And I'm going to actually type in y equals 2x. And press Execute. And when I press Draw again, you'll see I have two lines now. It doesn't have any colours, so you have to just remember that the first line that you drew was this one, and the second line is this one. Now, I guess what you might be doing and why you might be graphing these is to investigate what the relationship is between the two graphs. And you might look at this and say, okay, well, let's have a look at the gradient of each graph. I can see that this line has a steepness, it's got a positive gradient, but I can see that this line has a steeper gradient. It's also positive, but it's steeper. I can also see that both lines have a y-intercept at the origin or at 0. So, if I want to delete those graphs and perhaps investigate some more graphs, I need to go back to the menu and press Exit, and you'll notice that here, del, this stands for delete. So when I press F2, it asks me, would you like to delete? And I say yes. Now it'll only delete one at a time. I think I'm actually clicked on one that doesn't have a graph. So let me just use the cursor to go up, and then I need to delete one at a time. And again, use the cursor to go up and delete one at a time. Okay, so let's draw another graph. Let's draw the graph of y equals negative x. So you'll notice there that I accidentally used an alphabet letter, so I need to make sure I delete that and use this button here for the variable. Negative x. Now where I use negative, I'm using this button here. So this button here represents my negative. When I press enter, it's accepted my graph. And I can go to draw. And I see the line of y equals negative x.